Greetings all, it's Blue Knight, and welcome back to Super Luigi Galaxy. Previously, we took care of a couple of smaller galaxies back in the Terrace and even outside of the Terrace Dome with that pink-hungry Luma who actually looks like a regular Luma now. And we also got 10 stars for our names, so we're now entering double digits in terms of the star count. Today, we're gonna enter back into the Terrace Dome one more time, as we saw a Bowser base and we have more than enough star power to get to said base. But before I do that, I want to make a note of Rosalita herself. It's actually about her design. I saw that in 1 point development, her design was going to be a lot more regal, a lot more royal than what we see today. And honestly, I like this change for the better because it gives Rosalita a bit more of a unique identity to her. Despite the fact that she does look like Peach, she looked like just another princess in her original design. So I kind of like Rosalita the way she is now because, like I said, she looks a lot more unique this way. So something else I actually want to mention as well is actually this Luma that's been like Rosalita's advisor more or less. His name is Polari. I think his name is based off of Polaris the North Star, which sailors would use to navigate when I guess they had trouble trying to determine where to go. And it might be just me, but Polari looks like a brownish Luma, kind of almost chocolate colored like, when he's actually supposed to be a black Luma. I don't know why, but I just don't see it. I see more like a dark brownish Luma, but maybe it's just me. In any case, we now have more than enough star power to go to Bowser Jr.'s robot reactor. So let's go get that grand star that could be potentially in this Bowser base. Mega Lake's Moon. So that contraption over there kind of looks like one of the Pikmin bosses, or at least a couple of them. At least that's what I think of it. It just has that same, I guess, structure to it. So that's why it kind of reminds me of those Pikmin bosses. Admittedly, I never played any of the Pikmin games, but I have seen a couple of playthroughs of the series. So I'm kind of aware of it. But now we have a new enemy to deal with. These are the Goom Beetles. They're pretty much helmet-wearing Goombas. That's how I can describe it. Just spin them around once, and then jump on the underside. That way they will generate a coin, and only a coin. Hey, there's a couple of targets here. Okay, so what you want to do is to fire a bullet bill at one of the domes, and I thought that bullet bill did the work for me and try to get that launch star free. Only one could dream. So I guess what you have to do is to lure one of the bullet bills into that launch star to free it from its domy prison. Okay, so go around that dome of coins, and we got the launch star free. There's also one up over there, but I've got a lot of lives to my name, so I'm not gonna worry about that. So I'm just gonna go right to that planet where that big robot is. You made it! But I won't even need my dad's help to take care of you. Go at it, Mega Lake. Stop him with the power of your grand star. And so we have, I guess, our first legit boss of the game. Not really, it's more like the third boss if we're getting technical, I guess. But this is Mega Leg. There's a couple of coin studs on the ground in case you need to gather life back. But if we go up the back leg of Mega Leg itself, then we can see a 1-up. So I guess I won't be getting a 1-up in this star regardless. So all I have to do is just follow the tracks and follow the arrows to the top of Megalink's dome, I suppose. It's cranium. And what we have to do is what we did with those other domes before. Lure a bullet bill into the dome and just blow it up. But of course, it's not going to be that easy to get the Grand Star yet. So it's going to be these rotating fences that will, I guess, regenerate if you leave them open for too long. You can take out these fences with the generator, with a bullet bill, or you could do that. Just go for the dome itself. That was a lot easier than I thought it would be. Most of the time I have trouble with those fences and try to get the bullet bill over said fence into the Grand Star, but that was a really quick run. And Mega League's pretty much the easiest of the Grand Star boss in my opinion, but I didn't think we'd be getting this Grand Star that fast. Makes no difference to me though, because we got our second Grand.
Look.
That ball of flame represents the power of the observatory. We call it the beacon. When you recover a Grand Star, a little star power will be restored, and the beacon will grow. The Comet Observatory can use that power to fly through the universe. Once all the power is restored, we will even be able to fly to the center of the universe. Oh, the power is on the new dome. As you can see, we have another dome available to us now called the Fountain. The newly opened dome is called the Fountain. Thanks for repeating what I said, Polari. It's really quite relaxing. By the way, have you looked at the map? It contains information about galaxies as well as domes. If you forget the location of a dome, don't hesitate to speak with me. So I guess this unlocks the map now, which we couldn't access before. Actually, it wasn't there, come to think of it, before we went to Bowser Jr.'s robot reactor. So anytime you speak to Polari from now on, he'll pull up the map for you. He'll show you which domes you have unlocked, which of the Hungry Luma galaxies in the Comet Observatory that are available. You can also press A to see which galaxies are available, which domes, and how many stars you got, and also which ones that you haven't seen yet. There's also a list in the bottom right corner that can see all the stars that you've accumulated thus far, as well as all their coin totals. And of course the crown represents each galaxy that you have completed. And that's all there is to it. So if you ever need a refresher on what you want to do, or try to plan out which galaxy you want to tackle next and which dome, you can do that. If the beacon's power grows enough, the ship will be able to fly to the center of the universe. It looks like your friends are going to give you a hand. You should get started by rescuing the power stars of the galaxies you can see from the domes. So it's pretty much more of the same, but it's what the journey that matters in Mario games, not exactly the destination. I mean, the plot of these Mario games have always been the same, so it's really nothing new. It's just the journey that gets to that destination is what really matters. Let's go to this new dome, the Fountain. And by the way, I never got to talk about Mega Link, but the way to defeat it by climbing onto its body, that was actually a scrap concept used for Ocarina of Time of all things. Ganon was originally supposed to be defeated by climbing onto its body, and I guess trying to attack it from the head, but the developers scrapped that concept and used it for that boss because I think they couldn't let the players see in the dark. Or the players could not see in the dark at all, so that's probably why they got rid of that concept. It would have been pretty cool to see on the N64, but I guess it was just a bit too ambitious and they just couldn't fix it enough. So it's kind of cool that they reused it for another game later down the line, which was like years later as well. And now we're off to Space Junk Galaxy, the first one of the Fountain Dome. And our first star here is going to be Polestar Path. So once again, we're going to see the pole stars, but this time in a more larger capacity. It's also a nice change of scenery too, since we've been in a good egg for so long. So it's nice we have a refreshing setting that we can explore now. I mean, I like good egg as much as the next person, but it's just kind of refreshing to have a different place to explore now. It's not like that good egg overstays its welcome too much. I know it's the starting level of the game and such. And I guess the same goes for Honey Hive as well, but we're seeing more of the cosmos now, more of the space itself. So I guess that's why it's so refreshing to see, at least in my opinion. So one thing about the pole stars I didn't mention is that you can use the momentum of getting pulled from the pole stars to your advantage, like so. So if you let go at some point, the player will still travel a bit unless you hit a wall or the bubble just disappears after a bit. So you can use that to your advantage in a few situations. I don't think we'll be seeing any of that right now, but it will come in handy down the line. Be careful of these amps as you're going after these star chips. Whoa, Luigi's going all over the place. It's that gravitational pull, man. Sometimes it can work against you, but sometimes it can be helpful. And other times, it can just be fun to just go around the planet. Let's get all these stars before they disappear. Oh, I got that one before it vanished off into nothingness. Good. Now, I think there might be some things we can collect on this rocket ship. Which, from what I've read up, kind of resembles the Hokotane ship from Pikmin 2. I'm not sure if I can really see the resemblance since, like I said before, I don't know Pikmin too much. But I think I see the resemblance. I've only had the most exposure to Pikmin from Smash Brothers, so that's kind of why I'm so iffy about that. Let's pull onto this little Polestar planet. Let's pull to here as well, so we've got the star bit there. That was the only thing that was of use on that particular planet. So I'll use this, use the momentum to carry me forward. You know, to go in complete order of the power stars, not power stars, the pole stars. So once one's available to you, then you can just might go one or two other pole stars just to get a bit further into the level and try to get the level done quicker. And these guys are scuttlebugs. You can either jump on them to get coins or spin into them to get star bits, which is what I've been trying to do. And I got the patriotic star bits again. Very nice. So we can free most of these toads. And once we get these glasses, please help me help my other friends. We got all the toads here. And the leader comes down on their ship, the Star Shroom. Their second confounded power star. Captain, how could you? Yeah, not really a good captain just let you out to be frozen in those crystals. How did they get frozen to begin with anyways? One of the mysteries of Galaxy in my opinion. How do things get frozen and trapped inside those crystals? We may never know. It just happens, I guess. So let's jump onto the Starshroom. Da 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 da! Mr. Luigi! As the brave captain of the Toad Brigade, I have already discovered a shortcut to the Power Star. Take this Sling Star on the top of the Starshroom. So these guys aren't really just comic relief and just to be in the way. They are actually helping out. Then again, one of them did have a Power Star when we met them back in Honey Hive, so they're not completely useless. They do help out a bit along the way. So it's kind of cool that they do have a helpful role in some cases. So now we have our first instance of a Silver Star segment in Mario Galaxy, or Luigi Galaxy in this case. It's just Galaxy in general. So collect all 5 of these Silver Stars, and we'll be able to form a Power Star out of all of them. This one, of course, isn't too hard. It's the first segment of this instance, after all. So they're gonna be easy on us for this, for the time being. I kind of like the idea of all the debris of the Space Junk Galaxy game pulled together when you're going near the proximity. It's a gimmick that's only used once, unfortunately, on this on Space Junk, but it's a really cool idea. I guess if they try to add any more to that, it would over elaborate the concept of all that Space Junk game pulled together. So that's probably why they were really simple with it. I think we have time for one more. I think so. Let's go up. See what's next in store for us. Fly the galaxy, yes please. I'm pretty sure it might not take too long as well. At least from what I remember. Let's see, it's... oh, Camella's airship attack. Okay, I remember this one. So we got a bit of an armada to go through this time. Very different from all the space junk we were pulling together from last time. Alright, let's see what we can do here. Nothing on the underside of this ship. Alright, Captain Toad. What you do this time? Luigi, my brigade boarded the enemy fleet and none have returned. As captain, I would go save them myself, but I'm too busy at the moment. And scared. Captain Toad, this could be this a big occurrence where he's just all talk but no action. Though he does get his own adventure, but that doesn't happen for like nearly another decade or so after this game gets released. So he's just comic relief for the time being, despite the fact that his brigade does help out getting power stars for us at times. And how'd that coin appear? Did I get that to spawn from the door? I think I did. Is there any other doors I can test out on? Oh, I never knew about that. So I learned something new today. That's pretty cool. Granted, they are coins after all, and of course I prioritize star bits over coins, but that's still a really cool secret. I didn't know about that. Don't want to fall off in the black hole now. That'd be really embarrassing to die if I just slip off. So these star bunnies are showing that we can long jump and spin afterwards. So this helps if you want to get a bit more altitude and keep your airtime going for a little longer. It can make quite a difference in some situations. So don't take that for granted. Spin this. There's a bunch of fireworks going off right now, and my mic is actually in the direction where the fireworks are sounding off from, so hopefully it doesn't get picked up too much, and if it does, I hope it's not that loud. I think at the time I'm recording this, it's actually Victoria Day, so it's been a long weekend for us Canadians here. I kind of forgot it was Victoria Day today to be completely honest. I didn't know it was a long weekend until I looked at my calendar just a few hours ago. I mean, that's what you get for like sleeping in and such. Sometimes I sleep in too much to realize what day it is sometimes. Like this year, I forgot that it was April Fool's because I slept in too much. And I actually did get fooled a bit on that day as well, admittedly so. As much as I don't want to admit it. But anyways, you'll come across torches every now and then when you're playing this game. You can spin them you can extinguish them to get either coins or in some cases later on, star bits. So if you want to get more resources, you can do that. Get all these star bits first before I get this hit a block, which will give you even more star bits. And let's go to that pole star as well. Pulls up. You can also break out of that pole star bubble by pressing Z to ground pound. And in this case, that chimney led us to a bunch of star bits here. Pretty sure that Bowser's Armada didn't want us getting those, but, well, it's too late now. We already did get them. More octopuses there. I don't think they have any coconuts we can reflect to them this time, so we'll also have to make do with these Koopa Troopa ships, these Koopa Troopa shells, and finish them off that way. And you're just telling us how we can defeat it that way. That's good to know. Yellow Toad, what do you got to say after I step on your head? If a shell is just out of reach, you can still spin to pick it up. I wonder if I can do that right here. No, I can't. Doesn't affect levels, I guess it only affects distance. Ooh, life shroom. Pretty sure I don't need it, but it's never a bad thing to have that on hand, just in case. Oh, there's a red shell too. And, wow. Way to go, me. I made real good use of that red shell. Unbelievable, I can't believe I missed that octopus by that much. Oh well. Go up this manhole cover of sorts. And we meet the new boss, Cabela. So what we have to do with Cabela is, I think first you'll summon fireballs, so be sure to avoid those, but pay attention to what the sparkles will entail. If they're orange, they will be fireballs. If they're green, there will be a shell. You can spin to get the shell before it even touches onto the surface. So it's a faster way to defeat Cabela, or at least gain the shell, if you're able to detect that. So after 2 hits, I think, yeah, she'll go to her second phase, I suppose? It's not really a second phase, she doesn't do anything that differently, other than, I think, some of more fireballs, but there's all these magic Koopas we have to deal with now. I know they're also called Kameks, but I think that might only be for either the Japanese or the European version, because from what I looked up, North Americans always refer to it as Magic Koopas, at least in the North American titles of these games, but they're called Kameks elsewhere, so it's really weird to know that, even though I've always called them by both names for the longest time. Anyways, she's not that much different after she summons the Magic Koopas, other than summoning more fireballs, but other than that, there's not much to that boss fight. Easy power start for us. And that's gonna do it for today on Super Luigi Galaxy. Wait, actually, oh, hang on, I think we unlocked something at 13 stars. I almost forgot about this. So at 13 stars, we get something called Prankster Comets appearing. It seems that a Prankster Comet has appeared somewhere. Prankster Comets have very strange effects on galaxies. If you want to learn more about these curious comets, ask the Luma who knows such things. I think I'll save that for next time on Super Luigi Galaxy. This seems like a pretty good spot to end on with these newfound comets that have now appeared on the map, as we can see on the, I think that's the terrace. So we might be going back there to start off the next episode. So next time, we're gonna explore more of these Prankster comets as we continue to gain more stars back in the fountain. Until we meet again, farewell for now.